We talked about what happens when the demand shifts, and we talked about what happens when the supply shifts. Now, we're going to talk about what happens if both curves shift. Let's start with an example. We're going to shift both curves to the right, the demand and the supply. To understand when things get ambiguous, let's draw the shifts separately. Let's start with the demand. So here's the supply, here's the demand, and now I'm going to shift the demand to the right. You can see here, comparing both equilibriums, that quantity went up and price went up. Now let's draw separately what happens when the supply shifts to the right. In this case, when you compare it here and here, you can see that quantity went up, but price went down. What if I shift both curves? Well, I know for sure that quantity is going to go up. However, I don't know if price is going to go up and down. It depends on what curve shifts the most. If the demand shifts the most, price will go up. But if the supply shifts the most, price will go down. It's like each curve is pushing price to a different direction. So I'm going to draw a case where the demand shifts a lot and the supply shifts just a little bit. See what happens. So the demand is going to shift a lot and the supply is going to shift just a bit. Now comparing the initial one with the final one, clearly quantity went up. Oh yes, because both shifts were suggesting that quantity was going to go up. However, in this case, comparing here to here, price also went up. Why? Well, because the demand shifted more than the supply, and the demand was forcing price up. So, the stronger shift prevailed. Now, let's see another example. Assume now that the demand shifts to the left and the supply shifts to the right. Again, let's draw both cases separately. So, let's shift the demand to the left you can see that quantity went down from here to here, and price also went down. And now let's shift the supply to the right. Now you can see that in this case, quantity went up from here to here, and prices went down from here to here. Okay, so what's going to happen to price? Well, price for sure is going down, because in the first and in the second shift, prices went down. However, if both curves shift, what's going to happen to quantity? Well, that depends. If the demand shifts the most, quantity is going to go down. But if the supply shifts the most, quantity is going to go up. One shift is pushing the quantity down, and the other shift is pushing the quantity up. Whichever shift is stronger, the effect on quantity will prevail. So let's draw a case where the supply shifts a lot and the demand shifts just a bit. So So I'm going to shift the supply kind of a lot, and the demand just a little bit. Now, you can see the prices for sure went down. They were here in the beginning and now they're here in the end. So all the way from here to here. Now in this case, quantity went up from here to here. Why? Because the effect of the supply was stronger since the shift of the supply was larger. So in these cases, when both demand and supply shift, I suggest to draw them separately because the final effect in one of the variables is always going to be ambiguous.